believe in the tales of ancient tribes or ghost stories? A question that has baffled many, and the answer to which three friends, Mia, Eric and Josh, were about to discover. Raised on the whispers of the Silent Ones, an ancient tribe said to reside deep within the Ironwood Forest. The trio had heard countless tales of lost hikers, disturbing noises, and the unsettling sensation of being watched. The Silent Ones, they were told, hunted those who dared to tread on their land after nightfall. Mia, a skeptic by nature, dismissed these stories as mere folklore, a way to frighten adventurous souls like them. She, along with Eric and Josh, decided to challenge these legends, to venture into the Ironwood Forest and unravel the truth for themselves. The locals warned them, their eyes filled with fear and concern, but the warnings fell on deaf ears. The initial encounter with the forest was mesmerizing. The sun, breaking through the dense canopy of trees, painted a breathtaking picture. The air was fresh, crisp, scented with pine, and filled their lungs with a sense of freedom. The silence of the forest was a soothing lullaby, and not the ominous quiet they had been warned about. But as they journeyed deeper into the heart of the Ironwood Forest, the enchanting beauty slowly started to morph into something more sinister. The sunlight became sparse, struggling to pierce through the thickening foliage. The air grew heavy, a weight settling in their chests, and the sweet scent of pine was gradually replaced by the stench of decay, a smell that made their stomachs churn. The once comforting silence of the forest became a blanket of oppression, wrapping around them and making their skin prickle with unease. They began to feel the shift, the transformation of the forest from an alluring paradise to a foreboding maze. As they ventured deeper, the forest grew darker, the air heavier. The scent of decay filled their nostrils, and the silence became oppressive. Little did they know, the real terror was yet to come. Suddenly, the familiar path they had come down was gone, replaced by twisted trees and thick underbrush. A cold and eerie sensation gripped Mia, Eric and Josh as they realized they were lost. The forest, once vibrant and inviting, now seemed a labyrinth of darkness, its beauty morphing into something sinister. The air turned heavy with fear, the scent of moss and damp earth overpowering. The once melodious songs of the forest creatures were replaced by an oppressive silence. The trio exchanged nervous glances, their hearts pounding in their chests like a drum echoing in the hollow expanse of the woods. Confusion set in, their minds racing to make sense of their surroundings. "This can't be," Mia stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. Eric, usually the calm and collected one, couldn't hide the tremor in his voice as he said, "We must have taken a wrong turn." Without a second thought, they sprinted through the woods, the sound of the chanting growing louder behind them. The forest, once a haven of natural beauty, transformed into a nightmarish labyrinth of twisted trees and gnarled underbrush. Their breaths came in ragged gasps, lungs aching as they pushed their bodies to the limit. Each footfall echoed ominously, a haunting metronome matching the rhythm of their pounding hearts. The air grew dense and heavy, as if the forest itself was pressing in on them, a silent accomplice in this terrifying chase. The guttural voices of the Silent Ones filled the air, an eerie symphony of ancient tongues that sent chills spiraling down their spines. The voices seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, a disorienting cacophony that made it impossible to determine how close their pursuers were. The scent of blood and decay lingered, a grim reminder of the Silent Ones' terrifying reputation. It clung to their clothing, seeped into their skin, a stench so potent and nauseating it made their stomachs churn. Their faces were slick with sweat and fear, their eyes wide and alert as they darted around the forest. Each snap of a twig, each rustle of leaves amplified their fear, fueling their desperate flight. They could feel the presence of the Silent Ones, a palpable force that seemed to hum in the air. It was as though they were being hunted by shadows, the figures always just out of sight, hidden amongst the trees. The bone masks they wore seemed to shimmer in the faint moonlight, a chilling spectacle that haunted their dreams for years to come. By some miracle they made it out of the forest just as the sun began to rise. Their breaths were ragged, hearts pounding like wild drums in their chests. The first rays of dawn painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, a stark contrast to the terror they had just escaped. The forest, now bathed in daylight, appeared ordinary, its dark secrets hidden once again. They looked at each other, their faces pale and eyes wide with fear. They had come face to face with the Silent Ones, the ancient tribe that haunted the Ironwood Forest. The chilling tales they had heard growing up were not mere stories, but grim realities. They were the fortunate ones who had lived to tell the tale. Their narrow escape was a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. If you ever find yourself lost in the woods, remember their story. Be wary, be vigilant. Join us on TikTok and YouTube for more bone-chilling chronicles, if you dare.